Okay, Nick, let's start with your opponent tonight. It's the first game of a 3-game road trip. You're playing Dallas for the 4th time this season. What did you learn about your opponent in those first 3 meetings that you can use for the game plan tonight?
Yeah, I think they're stingy defensively. It's always a hard game when we play these guys. They got a lot of skill, a lot of speed, so it's always tough. So I think we're gonna try to simplify and kind of expect that we're not going to get a ton because they play really good defensively, and just take what's given and try to go have some fun tonight.
Over this last stretch, the team has been really confident with those first period starts and how much energy and control you guys have had. What have you liked about the team coming out in that first 20 minutes?
Yeah, I think we're doing a good job of setting the tone. We're playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of speed, and I think we're a dangerous team when we're executing and making plays, and we got a lot forward lines that are contributing, so it's a lot of fun to play right now.
And something that was really something that we heard a lot recently, we just need to control what we can control, and that's been something that's been a key for all season. What have you seen out of your team focusing on the little things that they can control within a game to have those great results?
Yeah, I think, from the start of the year till now, I think, we've made a lot of strides in trying to play the same way every single game. I think you look at all the good teams in the league, they kind of bring the same effort every night, and stick to what works and not trying to do too much or force plays. I think just letting the game come to us, and when we do that, I think we're really dangerous.
Something that this team has really stepped up is bringing physicality, being strong forechecking. What have you liked about your team's effort to really bring that momentum into these games?
Yeah, I think when we're rolling 4 lines and we're tough on the forecheck, I think it's it's a tough team to play against. So. The big thing for us is finding that consistency and that mentality night in, night out, which 82-game season, that's a challenge, and you're in the best league in the world, so you got to find ways to have energy, to be able to play physical, and even some nights when you're not feeling it, you gotta find a way. So I think this team has grown from the beginning of the year, especially. On the consistency part and kind of having an identity, and I think teams know coming into the games when they're playing against us, it's going to be a fast game, and they don't. I don't think a lot of times want to get into a speed match against us because we got a lot of skill, and a lot of times it just comes down to if we're going to take care of the puck and usually have success.
You're going up against a team that's very stingy defensively. What are some of the focuses for this group to really be able to produce, especially since every game in this series so far has just been a 1-goal differential?
Yeah, it's always tight playing these guys, and this is one of the best teams in the league. So it's just finding your way right from the start, and I think we know what they bring to the table, but it's going to be a lot what we do tonight, and we want to compete hard. So regardless of the situation, it's there's a lot of pride in this room, and the guys want to win. Speaking
of the start, that is something that this team has done really well down this stretch. What are some of the elements that you guys are doing in that first period to assert yourselves and bring that energy?
Yeah, I think it's our mentality going into the game, us kind of setting the pace instead of waiting for the game kind of to develop, kind of coming out and having our game plan, our blueprint of what we do well, and if we kind of compound shifts, it creates success. So like I said, the 4 lines and all of our D, I think when everyone's rolling and everyone's feeling good and moving their feet, it's usually a positive game.
Same lineup, Veggie in that, and Marine's still out. So.
Did Marino make the trip? As far as this group, last time you guys were here, what do you want to see in reflection to that game, because they're 3-2 overtime?
I think we played really good against Dallas this year, but unfortunately we could not win. So it's our last opportunity. I think it's a team who play really hard. The way they play with a lot of pace offensively. They play fast. They put pucks at the net, bodies at the nets, and obviously they have a good team. They're a group of forwards, especially they're really elite. So for us, I think it's a matter of intensity against them. We played really solid, like I said, and we matched the intensity. That's why they were a really good game. So tonight, it's a team who's tough to get on the inside as well. So we'll need to keep doing what we do lately, and we've been successful.
When your group plays a team like this, what are some of the things you want to emulate to become that playoff contender team like Dallas is?
Well, I think their maturity in their decision. That's a good question because they even if in the game example we played them, they never panic. Even if we had great push and we were right on top of them and we had momentum in games. If you look first period, we were all over them and they came in the second like, okay. It happened and that's it. They were a little bit like LA when we played LA. We really dominated the first period. They came up in the second like nothing happened. So I think they're capable of weathering the storm and staying in the game.
Is that a skill set that your team can learn through?
Yeah, that's what becoming more mature and older as a team. That's what you want to learn and become as a team, and being able to weather the storm and being able to stay with it even if you didn't maybe have your best shift or your best half period or so on and so forth, and be able to bounce back. And it's the same thing games to games. It's not because you played bad last game that has to carry over. So I think with the maturity, it's easier to do.
We talked about at the beginning of the year your 1% better mentality. Now that this is the last road trip, where does that 1% mentality compare now versus where you guys started?
Well, we had a lot of improvement. 1% every day. We still have a few percent to go get. So I think that I'm really happy about the progression of the team, the way we learned. If you look at the maturity and the way we played the game early in the season and the high risk and all of it, and the way we're managing a lead or we're managing just staying out of the box, or all those things where our team not just did it, they understand it. Now they live by it, they breathe it like it, and it's important for them instead to be something we should do. It's important for them now.
I feel like that has helped your team keep intensity and intention in games like this on this road trip, but maybe you're not pushing for a spot, but there's still importance to how you play.
This team has no quit. They never quit. They never did. They will never do it. Those guys are proud athletes out there, and they're a hell of a group, and they fight for each other. And we build a ton of pride inside our organization, and that's starting with our leader and our player. And I don't believe those guys knows how to quit, so they won't.